Mike, we got more time behind us than in front.
Man, please. I'm gonna be running down criminals till I'm 100.
It was great to see you and Marcus back together fighting crime, Mike. Bad Boys for Life was everything we wanted it to be and more, but life has thrown you some curveballs, hasn't it? We were shocked when we found out the big secret in the new movie.
Who wants to kill you?
I don't trust a person that don't want to kill him.
We were also glad that the ending was left wide open. We can't wait to see what happens in Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys for Life was a fun return to the lives of Marcus Burnett and Mike Lowry.
You could get that buffed out. No, you can get that buffed out.
We never would have guessed the ending. Find out what the ending means for a future Bad Boys sequel. This video contains spoilers. You've been warned.
What you gonna do when we come in?
No.
Bad Boys for Life was a wild ride, and we would expect nothing less from this franchise. When the movie opened, we were sad to learn that Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett weren't working together anymore. Marcus has been a family man for a long time now, and he's just become a grandfather. He's taken a desk job at some point since the last film, and he's perfectly content to be out of harm's way. He's even thinking about retiring.
What happened to Bad Boys for Life?
Meanwhile, Mike is still fighting crime in the police force, but he keeps butting heads with the younger cops in AMMO, the Advanced Miami Metro Operations Unit. Mike survives an assassination attempt at a party. He was attacked by Armando, who had recently helped his mother Isabel escape prison. They have big plans for their cartel, and Armando is supposed to take out everyone that gets in their way. Mike makes a full recovery, but Marcus still doesn't want to go back into the field. This causes a rift between the two lifelong friends. Things take a turn for the worse after that. We lost one of our favorite characters. Armando goes after Captain Howard, and the sniper attack was successful. Rest in peace, Captain Howard. This is what finally makes Marcus decide to return to fighting crime with Mike. They take on Isabel and Armando's cartel with the help of the awesome new cast. Everything is way more complicated because AMMO hasn't been very successful lately. It's in danger of being shut down. And just when you thought there weren't any more issues, Mike throws Marcus and everyone in the audience another curveball. Armando is his biological son. Our jaws hit the ground when he announced this. Basically, many years before, Mike had gone undercover to infiltrate the cartel. He had an affair with Isabel and she got pregnant. It must be terrible for Mike knowing that his own son has grown up to be an assassin. In the end, there's a major fight scene. Mike reasons with Armando. Isabel tries to shoot Mike but wounds her own son instead. Rita, who becomes the new captain, takes out Isabel. Armando survives and goes to prison. Later, we see Mike asking him for help in exchange for a sentence reduction. And most importantly, Marcus decides to go back to fighting cartels with Mike. If Bad Boys for Life was the end of the sequel, things would have been different. Either Mike or Marcus would have ended up retiring at the end of the movie. They would decide that they were just too old for the hectic cop life, and we don't think that they would have introduced Armando as Mike's son if they didn't have big plans for him later. Plus, the new cast of cops have stolen fans' hearts. They invested a lot in several new characters. Keep watching to find out what all this means for Bad Boys 4.
All our lives we've been bad boys, all right? Now it's time to be good men.
Before we dive into the theories about a fourth movie, let's talk about what the movie has to include. First up, we definitely need more information about Armando. Honestly, we kind of feel bad for him. He grew up in a cartel and was trained to be an assassin. He never had a chance at a normal, crime-free life. Also, he just found out the truth about his father, that his mother passed away after accidentally harming him. He's got a lot to deal with while he serves his prison sentence. We also really want to see Gabrielle Union again. She played Sid, Marcus's sister, who was an undercover DEA agent. The fourth movie also needs some sort of reference or homage to Captain Howard. Joe Pantoliano has been such an awesome part of the Bad Boys franchise. We understand why his character had to get shot in the movie. Marcus needed a reason to go back into the field, but we'll miss him. He should at least be mentioned a few times in a fourth movie. We also really want the same directors to come back for a fourth film. The first two movies were directed by Hollywood legend Michael Bay, but Adil El Arbi and Bilal Fallah took the helm for the third movie, and their version was a breath of fresh air. We want to see what else these directors can do with all the characters that we know and love. And of course, we definitely will need Will Smith and Martin Lawrence to reprise their roles. Sometimes, major action franchises try to spin off sequels with new main characters, but we just don't think that will fly with Bad Boys fans.
I got this. I'm gonna penetrate this man's soul with my heart.
What?
When they left the ending of Bad Boys for Life open, they wanted a chance to return for another movie if the third flick did well at the box office. So far, it's doing great. The studio is already talking about a fourth installment, and there are plenty of directions that the storyline could go. The first theory is totally obvious, and it has to do with Armando. Obviously, Mike is a good guy and he loves his son. He really wants to have a chance to have a relationship with him. We bet that Mike starts visiting Armando in prison a lot, and we definitely want to see this father-son bonding happen. Mike has never been one to be tied down, he's never been married, and he's had different love interests in every movie. But now he has a family. Marcus, on the other hand, has been a family man for a long time. We'd love to see him help Mike navigate being a father, and the plot is already there. Mike asked Armando to help with a case. Armando has a lot of knowledge about cartels. He'd be a valuable asset to any case. Maybe Mike manages to get him out of prison early to assist? Armando could help Mike go undercover to take down a cartel. Plus, there's a chance for some intrigue. The audience will always wonder if Armando can really be trusted. It could even cause a rift between Mike and Marcus. We think this theory is very plausible, and we would be really disappointed if the next sequel doesn't include Armando.
Woosah. Is that Sid? That's Sid. Now's not a good time.
Another option is for a crossover with LA's Finest. Remember Sid? In Bad Boys 2, we met Marcus's sister, Sid. She was secretly dating Mike, and now they were worried about how Marcus would react. He didn't really take it great at first, and Sid and Mike didn't stay together. Sid was such a beloved character that she got her own spin-off show. Gabrielle Union brings Sid to life in LA's Finest. She has left the DEA and is now working with the Los Angeles Police Department.
LAPD, drop the gun!
Her partner is Detective Lieutenant Nancy McKenna, who is played by Jessica Alba. Nancy is married to the district attorney who has a daughter. LA's Finest started in 2019, and the second season comes out sometime this year.
I go to jail with this face, first thing I do is wife up.
We would absolutely love to see the show crossover with Bad Boys 4. It would be a double buddy cop movie, with Sid and Nancy as the other best friends. A cartel investigation could easily bring the detectives together. Cartels usually have influence in more than one city, or maybe Mike and Marcus are asked to consult with the Los Angeles police. That could be the case that Mike asks Armando to help with. He could be doing it as a favor to Sid. There's also the possibility of a love story for Mike. In Bad Boys for Life, we find out that Rita is his ex-girlfriend. That would definitely complicate their working relationship since she's the new captain. He could absolutely get back together with Rita in the fourth movie. Rita was played by Paula Nunez, and she was such an awesome character. Of course, Mike still might have feelings for Sid. If there was a crossover that brought Sid back, those two could rekindle their earlier romance. Marcus would probably approve these days since everyone is older and more mature, but that could mean the end of LA's Finest if Sid moved to Miami to be with Mike. Mike could also move to LA to be with her though. Or there could be a brand new love interest for him. Either way, we hope we get to see more Rita in the fourth movie. She and the other new characters were so much fun. You might be wondering why Bad Boys for Life didn't get made until 17 years after the second movie. And it's easy to worry that the same thing will happen to the fourth film. But there are several factors that led to such a huge time lag between the two sequels. One of the major issues was the budget. Bad Boys 2 had a huge budget, and it wasn't nearly as big of a success as the producers had hoped.
Good man, what you gonna do?
But the new directors managed to make Bad Boys for Life on a limited budget. They hired the best in the business and decided to focus on practical stunts over CGI. They also kept the action shots shorter, and it didn't detract from the movie at all. They also struggled to find the right story. They wanted to tell a story that old fans and new fans would be happy with. Many ideas were suggested and thrown out over the last 17 years. Chris Bremner worked with Joe Carnahan and Peter Craig on the story for Bad Boys for Life. Joe and Peter helped craft the story, but most of the screenplay credit goes to Chris. Chris has been tapped to write the next Bad Boys movie as well. Sony is in talks to make the fourth movie happen, but it's still in the early stages.
Break the world record for gunfights in a week.
We hope that the success of Bad Boys for Life makes them decide to go through with it. The studio does not want there to be the same time lag between movies, so we know it won't be too long. What do you think will happen in Bad Boys 4? Tell us your theories in the comments section.
No, never. Y'all will never do that again.
That's a wrap. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to The Things for more. Thanks for watching.